Hello, and thank you for joining the Association for New Canadians Black Voices Collective in celebrating Multiculturalism Month 2021. I'm Barb Walsh, the manager of Wrap and Settlement Services for the Association for New Canadians, and also a member of Black Voices Collective. I'll be your host for this virtual event. A few months ago, the Association for New Canadians started Black Voices Collective through a donation from Black Lives Matter NL. Even a year into the pandemic, we will not stop from observing Multiculturalism Month. And I'd like to give a shout out to our diverse community. Today, we will specifically share stories of Black newcomers and immigrants to the province. March 21st is the International Day for Elimination of Racial Discrimination and coincides with Multiculturalism Month. Multiculturalism Month celebrates our province's rich history of cultures and welcoming communities. Celebrating diversity honors both the individuals and cultures. It strengthens our sense of community and ensures that individuals feel a sense of belonging in Newfoundland and Labrador. This year, we have witnessed the inequalities faced by Black people in North America. Progress isn't linear, but it's still happening. Today, the ANC's Black Voices Collective introduces you to some of the people from the Black community here in St. John's, each of them in their own way having a reason to celebrate Multiculturalism Month. We have Tendai Mudunge. Originally from Zimbabwe, he is a dancer, videographer, instructor, and a promoter based in St. John's. He first fell in love with bachata and kizomba in Vancouver. Since the summer of 2016, Tendai has been offering dance workshops with his company, Jabula Entertainment, teaching participants choreographed performances. In Zulu, Jabula means happiness, and Tendai said this is his way of sharing happiness and making the impact in the community in Newfoundland and Labrador.
So I moved to Canada in 2012 to do my engineering degree at Memorial University. And as part of the engineering degree, you get opportunities to travel for work placements. So one of my work placements in 2014 was in Vancouver. So this was the first time being somewhere by myself without any local community that you know. Like when you come to the university, you're in a new place, but you're in a bubble for the school. So there's still a lot of people that you know. But when I went to Vancouver, that was my first time being somewhere by myself. So funny enough, there was no snow, it was in the winter, but I hated the place because I felt like I'm in an island. So when I was just trying a few things, and that's when I saw people doing the Latin dancing for the first time. And I thought I should be able to do this. And I tried to dance, but I ended up stepping on someone. So after I stepped on someone, I couldn't. So for that night, I realized, no, I need to really take classes to develop in this. So one thing led to the other. Then I came back here. So then I went to Montreal around 2016. 2016, that's the first time I saw it at a higher standard. But because I liked it so much, my initial plan was that maybe I would go to Montreal every 3-4 months to enjoy it. That's when I realized this plan is not sustainable. That's when I realized the only way out of this is to start something here. So initially the goal when I started my company was just to have a place for people to dance, for people to enjoy. But one thing led to the other. We started doing more events, and because I started to take it more seriously, I started getting better, started doing performances, and more people started seeing it. And up to today, I'm recognized as one of the top dancers here in St. John's. So the main big thing, where it's already a small community, and some people might be a bit afraid, or some people might be finding it a bit a different experience. But when you do something like this, like Black History Month, and you get people who have contributed to our society, whether they're mostly the black people who have contributed to our society, when you bring them to the spotlight, it also serves as an inspiration for other people that are still just finding their feet in the province and trying to see whether this place is for them. It just helps it to make it more welcoming for them. So the biggest challenge, this one failure happens to everyone, regardless of your culture. So when you come here, it's a different society. People tend to have not necessarily different expectations, but people have different ways of doing things. So when you come into a new environment, be it myself, you'll be seeing things that you may not have seen before, or people may be communicating in a different way. So the challenge is always trying to find yourself through all this, to say like, sort of understand like what is your why, what motivates you. So that's always the biggest challenge. It's more like an identity crisis. So Jabula itself, it's a word in Zulu. Zulu is from South Africa, but some people from Zulu came to Zimbabwe and they became Ndebele. So in Zimbabwe you'd have Ndebele and Shona. So Ndebele, Zulu is a word for Zulu. Jabula is a word from Zulu and Ndebele. So what it means is happiness. So dancing is supposed to make people happy. It's supposed to bring joy to people. So the biggest advice I would give, even to myself, like now I look back, I could have started this, like I only started dancing when I was 22. So it's almost like I set limits for myself in my mind. But you don't want to do that, because the world is changing. Things that were popular beat yesterday, they may not be popular tomorrow. And you have to don't necessarily have to learn everything, but you lose nothing by just investing in yourself, trying to gain a few different skills. You never know what you could stand out. So the first thing is always not to set limits for yourself in your mind. And many people will try to tell you things, but at the end of the day, you're your best coach. You know yourself best. You know what motivates you. So regardless of what people tell you, what people are telling you, like people used to say it, like let's say the dancing that I do, especially in Newfoundland here, you see more ladies dancing and you don't see as many male dancers. So people are always saying like dancing is not for guys. So if I had listened to that advice, I wouldn't be knowing. But it's almost like you don't want to set limits for yourself, and regardless of what people will tell you or what direction they try to push you, at the end of the day, you know what really makes you happy, and